But it is 100% a political issue. And when they say things like, "Oh, yeah, I have my thoughts and prayers, let's not politicize this," is so that they can keep getting money from the gun lobbyists, because there's absolutely something that we can do about this.
Mhm. Well, let's get to that.
Yeah.
Let's get to, Governor Kemp saying, let's not politicize this. Let's keep the thoughts and prayers.
Mhm.
And why something like this can happen in your state of Georgia. So let's talk about the gun laws in Georgia. All right. No permit required for purchase. That's right. You don't need a state permit to purchase or possess a shotgun, rifle, or handgun. No registration. Firearms do not need to be registered in Georgia. Hold on now. I'm going to get into the rest of the laws, but I really need to see. When I was reading this, when I was researching this, and I was reading this, and I was like, this don't make no sense.
None.
So not only do you not need a permit
Do not.
to purchase, when you do purchase it, you ain't even got to tell nobody that you got it.
No. And it gets worse.
It gets worse.
Keep going.
Permitless carry as of 2022, just 2 years ago.
Mhm.
Georgia allows permitless carry of handguns for residents who are not prohibited from possessing firearms.
So not only can you buy one without a permit,
Right,
and you don't have to register it,
right.
you can also conceal carry it on your person in public spaces.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're putting this out there for you just to examine this. Now, I know some people are going to be, "This is Second Amendment." Look, it's a right. It's a right. It's also a privilege.
Mhm.
Okay, it's a right
Yes.
and a privilege.
Yes.
And with every right and privilege, it can be taken away. Like, you can absolutely lose your freedom,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
You can lose your right to bear arms constitutionally. You can.
You
right?
can
There are
lose your right
laws.
to vote. You can
Yeah,
lose,
all
you can
that
lose
stuff.
a whole lot of rights.
So it's not just like it's not saying take away guns. Ain't nobody talking about taking away guns.
No, this
Jay
is
got
America.
guns,
Yes. This
and
is
I got guns.
yeah. This is America. We're always going to be armed. Like, I
Right.
don't think you ever need to worry about that. Guns are not going anywhere. They're literally what this country was built with.
Right. And me and you are pro guns.
Yeah.
Like I like
have guns.
Well, hold on. I'm not gonna say that. I like that.
Relax.
I went a little far. I went a little too far with that one
But
saying
no,
I like guns.
I definitely own firearms. Everybody around me's got them. Why am I going to be the only one without one?
Right. Like, so we are pro gun, but we are also pro common sense.
Yes.
And these things are just common sense, but it gets worse. Let's talk about background checks. If you buy a firearm through a federally licensed dealer, a background check is required. So that makes sense, right?
Yes.
Like if you go to the gun shop.
It's the bare minimum.
However, private transactions and gun show purchases do not require background checks.
And where do most Georgians get their guns? From gun shows. We have gun shows down here all the time. Why? Because it's so easy for them to make a sale in the state of Georgia. Anyone can have a gun. You got a gun. You got a gun. That's how easy it is. It's just gun shows here all the time.
I mean, obviously, there are some restrictions, right? If you're a convicted felon and mentally ill individual, you're prohibited from owning a firearm.
How they gonna know if I don't have to fill out a permit or submit to a background check?
Well, if you're a convicted felon, you can have the gun, like you could buy a gun, right? But if you get caught with the gun, you're going to jail.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's that. But how many convicted felons in Georgia can easily buy a gun at a gun show and never register it because there's no background checks
and always
and
have
no registration and always have it on them? Okay, but what about domestic violence convictions? Those with domestic violence convictions or protection orders are not explicitly banned under state law, though there are federal restrictions may apply. But In the state of Georgia,
Yeah.
you can domestically abuse your
Mhm.
partner
Mhm.
and have a protection order against you,
Yeah.
and you can still legally
Yeah.
own a gun in the state of Georgia.
Oh, you can't be within 50 feet of me? That's okay because you have an AR-15 style rifle and you can just shoot up my workplace.
Shoot up. Well, okay. Speaking of workplace, what about employee parking lot? Employees can store firearms in their locked vehicles in the employee parking lot. The
Mhm.
firearm. If you like that clip, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to catch up on all of our latest content. Don't forget to hit the notification button when you do subscribe so you can get updated every time we release content. We release content every day, whether it's an actual show or clips from the shows. So go ahead and subscribe, like, comment. Also, don't forget our Patreon page where you can find our Talking Straight-ish and After Hours Uncensored episodes. That's patreon.com/unsolicited perspectives. But once again, thank you again for listening to Unsolicited Perspectives. I'm your host, Bruce Anthony, and I'm going to catch you next time. I'll holla.